Inexpensive Android tablets are essentially vehicles for mobile media consumption, and the Alcatel A30, not to be confused with a phone of the same name, embraces this idea. At $125 it costs a little bit more than similar slates, but offers cellular connectivity on T-Mobile and solid battery life, along with features like dual-band Wi-Fi and an IR blaster. That said, there are no parental controls or curated content for kids, which you often find in this price range, and the back speaker is tinny. It's still a solid bet for the price, but if you don't need cellular connectivity or access to the Google Play Store, the Amazon Fire HD8 is a stronger option, and our editor's choice. Design, display, and connectivity. The Alcatel A30 is a sturdy slab of black plastic with a textured back panel. Measuring 8.3 by 4.9 by 0.4 inches HWD and weighing 12.7 ounces, it's a bit heftier than the Lenovo Tab 3 8.3 by 4.9 by 0.4 inches, 11.6 ounces, but nearly on par with the Fire HD8 8.4 by 5.0 by 0.4 inches, 13 ounces. It feels sturdy, even though it's not rugged or rated for official drop resistance. There's no creaking or flex to the body, and if you use a protective case, I wouldn't be worried about giving it to a child. You'll find both a 3.5mm headphone jack and a micro USB charging port on top of the tablet, along with an IR blaster that lets you use it as a remote control when using the pre-installed Closer TV app. The right side has a clicky power button and volume rocker, and the left has a flap that gives you access to a SIM and micro SD card slot, the latter of which worked fine with a 256GB card. There's a single mono speaker on the back, in the bottom right corner. It's not very loud, and the location makes it very easy to accidentally muffle it with your hand. The Fire HD8 and Tab 3H both have better sounding front-facing stereo speakers. The A30's 8-inch, 189 pixel per inch, 1280 by 800 IPS display is pretty standard at this price point. It matches the HD8 and Tab 3.8, giving you fairly crisp text and video that's free from pixelation except on close inspection. Colors can seem a little washed out when viewed from the side, but looking straight ahead you won't have an issue. Screen brightness is on the dim side, however, and I had trouble seeing it outside even at maximum brightness. The tablet has cellular connectivity, an extremely rare feature at this price point. It's available on T-Mobile and supports LTE bands 2412. We tested in Midtown Manhattan, where we recorded strong network performance with 19.2 megabits per second down and an unusually high 23.68 megabits per second up. Additional connectivity options include Wi-Fi on the 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz bands, as well as Bluetooth 4.1. The A30 worked well connected to the 5 GHz router in PC labs, with good range and reliable double-digit speeds. Processor, battery, and camera. The A30 is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 210 processor clocked at 1.1 GHz. It's a pretty basic chipset that scored 21,363 on the Antutu benchmark, a measure of overall system performance. This is a bit less than we saw on the MediaTek-powered Tab 3.8, 25,407. We weren't able to run the test on the Fire HD8, as it isn't available in Amazon's App Store. On Geekbench, the A30 did relatively well, scoring 636 single-core and 2,598 multi-core. That's better than both the HD8 6,291,687 and the Tab 3.8 6,681,877 when it comes to multi-core performance. The tablet benefits from having 2 GB of RAM, letting it do a decent amount of multitasking. That said, you'll still encounter a fair bit of stuttering and hang-ups when switching between apps and opening new ones due to processor constraints. The camera app was particularly prone to freezing up, requiring it to be closed and reopened before it was usable again. Playing demanding games isn't possible. See how we test tablets. Battery life is good. The slate lasted for 6 hours 15 minutes of full-screen video streaming over LTE at maximum screen brightness. That's better than the HD8 4 hours 42 minutes and the Tab 3 5 hours 47 minutes, both of which we tested over Wi-Fi. The A30's matching 5-megapixel front and back cameras are decent. They don't capture the sharpest images, but in decent lighting, they're passable for photos and video chat. 720p at 30 fps. Auto exposure ISNT very good though, and low light image quality is grainy. Software: the A30 comes running Android 7.1.1 Nougat, making it a lot more up to date than most tablets in this price range. There are some visual changes to app icons, but they're minor, and the rest of the UI remains the same as stock Android. There's little in the way of extra features. Aside from the aforementioned IR Blaster, you can enable split-screen mode from the notification shade and run 2 apps simultaneously. One big omission is a children's mode with parental controls, which is a common feature these days. That said, you could always download parental control apps from the Google Play Store, something you can't do with Amazon's tablets, as they lack Google Play access. Amazon has its own app store, but it doesn't have quite the same selection you'll get with Google Play. There's some bloatware, including Closer TV, Nextradeo, Messenger, Twitter, Uber, and WPS Office. Of them, only Messenger and WPS Office can be uninstalled. Still, it's not a ton of extra software, and out of 16 GB of total storage, 9.7 GB is available. It's a decent amount of space for installing apps, and if you need more room you can always use a micro SD card. Conclusions: for $125, the Alcatel A30 is a little pricier than tablets with similar specs, but you get the benefit of cellular connectivity, a feature that isn't common at this price range. Add to that 2 GB of RAM, a decent display, an IR Blaster, and good battery life, and you have a solid media tablet. The Amazon Fire HD8 remains our editor's choice thanks to its stereo speakers, built-in parental controls, and lower price, but the A30 is a great alternative if you want access to the Google Play Store and need cellular connectivity. There's also the 7-inch Amazon Fire 7 for just $50, though performance takes a hit.